Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
When I had to dance at my wedding.
Oh,
right?
here we go.
So people knew how terrible a dancer I was, so they put footprints on the ground.
Okay.
Right? And I thought that was a help, not a hindrance.
Right.
Could we put footprints on the ground on these ceremonies so he knows exactly where to walk? But I mean, it's crazy that he can't pull off a wreath ceremony and that nobody wrote this up. I read in FoxNews.com going, okay, let's see what everyone else says. They just talk about his comments. They talk about what Trump said about what he wants to do to handle illegal immigrants that are here already. And then they don't even mention during a wreath ceremony that he didn't know where to go, had to talk to a soldier on this solemn moment to putting a wreath on the tomb of the unknown soldier. I mean, and no one helps him. Do you think someone would walk out there, or can you have the vice president go out there with him?
Mr. President, you can go back, take your seat.
The commander-in-chief has to get orders from one of the soldiers.
You think President Xi is worried about their meeting now?
Well, now everyone's aware of it. So anyone who's around him is saying, oh, no, go this way. Let's go this way. So everyone's helping him now.
His team isn't helping him. They should make it really clear. And if the team is saying,
these are just Americans.
Mr. President, you walk up there, you say some words, you go over there, you do the wreath thing. If they tell him and he forgets it, it's on him. But if it's not, it's his team. Whatever it is.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
When I had to dance at my wedding.
Oh, here we go.
So people knew how terrible a dancer I was, so they put footprints on the ground.
Okay.
Right? And I thought that was a help, not a hindrance.
Right.
Could we put footprints on the ground on these ceremonies so he knows exactly where to walk?
The problem is next to the footprints might be a sandbag.
Oh,
and he literally got sandbagged. They put a sandbag right there. He tripped over it. And
all right, let's talk about the border.
Dr. Scholl's has 2 in a packet. You could buy $12. He could make those 10
Wait,
steps.
you want insoles or footprints?
Well, I don't have. I mean, I don't have art class. I can't cut out little footprints. Dr. Scholl's already made it.
I think a great big arrow that you make out of just tape, bright painter's tape.
That's an alternative.
That way.
That's an alternative.
The problem that Joe Biden has right now is that
Look at this.
Look at this is crazy.
That was
on Veterans Day.
Wreath-laying ceremony. Mm-hmm.
So he just doesn't have it anymore. And honestly, I don't think this is about age. This is about, because everybody's going to meet this day, this is about, can he do the job? And the one thing that is going to hurt him this time as he fumbles around there on a day that's supposed to be very solemn is that he's not going to be able to connect with voters anymore. That was his thing, being out there, being able to talk with people. And as me and Brian are going to go through later on in an hour, the wall of all the polling for all the battleground states, the only way he can overcome that is going out there to meet people, because he's not going to change his policies. And a guy that moves like that can't go out there.
Well, the poll that they were talking about that David Axelrod was referring to is a CNN poll. It says 74% don't think that President Biden, 74% has the stamina. I think Donald Trump got somewhere in the 40s.
Something like that.
Yeah. That's a big number, 74% of voters.
Right. And in those battleground polls, and by the way, in Peter's report, we just saw Joe yelling at Peter because Peter had asked him about the battleground polls, and Joe said, you only quote 2. You only quote the New York Times and CNN. There are 10 in all, and 8 of them I'm doing really well at. In that New York Times poll, the 2 issues that Joe Biden actually beats Donald Trump on are abortion and defense of democracy. So that is what the White House is going to run on. We've known for a while, 6 months ago, we heard the White House strategy for the campaign would be let the Republicans duke it out in the chaos, and that will just remind people about that. So they've done that, but now apparently, according to NBC, Joe is upset that Trump has taken shots at him. He hasn't returned fire until a couple of days ago at the UAE event. And so now he's going to be, essentially, after the Tuesday results came in with Virginia, that energized Joe because it showed that abortion is a potent issue with voters.